Hey everyone, welcome back to a long, well, I don't know if it's long awaited, but welcome back to this video. This is going to be a new series and it's going to be about spring. Spring and summer are not necessarily my most favorite seasons. Um, Not that particularly spring, that it's not beautiful with the fresh green foliage coming through, and of course the blossoms. I mean, that's utterly beautiful to view. It's just like the heat, the bugs. um, it's interesting. Like, I like looking at bugs from a TV screen and the insect world, and it's so fascinating. I just don't like necessarily being a part of it. So I like to keep my distance. I prefer to keep my distance. And so, but yeah, so spring marks the beginning of all of that stuff. And I rather pass on that than, engage with it. So, but and then summer is my least enjoy. It's kind of bittersweet because summertime is, one of the best times to do outdoor activities. I like to golf, and of course, summertime is the best time to get that in. I mean, you can do it over fall as well, but at the beginning of spring. But I prefer being cold, so I like cooler weather. I always have, and so yeah. But just gotta move on and embrace the different seasons. That's what makes it truly enjoyable, because you get to long for the upcoming season. So this here, all of that prelude. This is going to be part one of the spring series, watercolor series. I'm going to try to keep this all watercolor. No promises. I'm trying not to use my actual I got something resting on it, my actual water, like cold press and hot press paper, because these are really just like sketches. These are not like finished pieces of work. And so I you know I want to be what's the word, judicious, I think, with the use of my my materials. And so those cold and hot press pads are pricey, or can be pricey, and I don't want to just use those for sketching. So I'm not at that that level financially to just do away with cold press, the professional grade. This is just stock paper, and so it may not be the best for watercolor, but I can still play around with it, and I enjoy doing so. All right, so usually these are kind of like just like diary blogs, because it's usually a combination of stuff that I've seen around town, whether driving or walking from one area to the next, and I take mental notes, to be, oh, you know what, that's a cool tree, and or the organic arrangement of, say like landscaping and and then just the natural unkept, you know, foliage. So yeah, so I just take mental notes, and sometimes, you know, they really don't go anywhere else, but I try to to jot them down like on a sketch, that way, or like a thumbnail, and that way it just helps with my memory of, hey, what did I see and how was that, you know, what was the original original composition, you know, just how was that laid out, what was the lighting like. And so because I'm not always in a position where I could pull up my phone and snap a photo. Sometimes I actually do that when I do have that opportunity to do so, but other times I truly don't, and so I have to rely on my recollection. And getting older, it's not always easy to trust that, because, you know, you lose. Sometimes, you know, I'll lose the essence of what I was looking at. So yeah. But now, you know, it's what, May 20th, and you know, spring is in full effect here in Virginia. And so yeah, I thought, you know what, this would be no time like the present to get this going. I'm trying to find, where is it? Black. There we go. So yeah, so it's what, 7 minutes. This is gonna be, you know, I don't like jinxing myself, because when I say something's gonna be quick, and then all of a sudden it just, the time, of course you wanted to drop. The time just runs by. But I'm thinking this is gonna be fairly quick. Because I'm going to try to keep it all watercolor, and by that I mean like not adding like pens or ink to it. And so, but we'll see how that goes. I may still end up doing that, but we'll see. Because I've seen other, you know, in the past, just other watercolor illustration, and I was just always like fascinated when it's all watercolor, you know. And of course sometimes it's time lapse, you know, because particularly if you're going to use like masking layer, you know, it's going to be time lapse, so you give it time to dry and you can come back to it, so that way it's not ruining the composition. And so but it's still all watercolor. And then of course I've seen pieces where it is, you know, a combination of different mediums, you know, maybe 80% watercolor, and then the rest, you know, different mediums, whether it's inks or color pencil or acrylic paint. So, but this one I'm trying to keep all watercolor, but as I'm going, I'm thinking I may want to define some more areas, and so we'll see how that goes. So, oh my goodness, sorry, hopefully that wasn't like that for a long time. Recording with my phone, I think I pulled the cord. I have my lapel and it's connected to the phone, so sorry about that. That was an unintentional camera angle change, and so it's funny because they say you should do that when you're recording, you know, have like cuts where it's like, you know, different angle changes like that, bam bam, zooming in, zooming out, for retention. So it's so fascinating what we have to do nowadays, whether it's a speaking engagement or, you know, recording a video, the stuff where it's like, oh, you gotta, you know, you want to maintain retention, you know, it's got to be can't be too long, and if it's long, you gotta have multiple camera cuts, and you know, just think we're training the next generation to have such a short attention span. It's not good. It's not good. And so, I mean, yes, it's, you know, like my voice, if it's monotone, that's probably not going to be the most pleasant thing to listen to. But sometimes you have to learn how to engage with different experiences that may not be your favorite enjoyable experience, but you know, but you learn. All right, I think this is it. I think now what I'm going to do is add in the foliage, well, the leaves from the trees. I wanted to keep this like a full forest look to it. I thought I had different variations of greens, but I do not. So I'll see what I'm going to do here, because I was at a fast food joint, and oh, that's too wet. I saw like these. I was gonna add it in this, but I'll probably save it for the other, because there were so many things I saw that I wanted to add, but I was like, I'm not sure how that's gonna work. It's so many elements in one. But what was I saying? Yeah, it was just these, like, it was like these tulips. They were like red, blue, purple, and I was like, man, that's really cool. Like just in front of a hedge, and I was like, man, I mean, it was so uniform. I thought it was fake, you know. I mean, I didn't get a chance to go up to it closely to get a close inspection, but I was just so impressed visually. I was like, man, that's, to have it all uniform and full like that. I was just thoroughly impressed. And so and then the foreground is those full bloom trees and the leaves and the light. Yeah, it was just something to see. So I was just real, you know, inspired by that, and I said, you know what, yes, I need to, because I've been thinking about starting a series for spring. Really a couple weeks ago. So you know what, this is 13 minutes. So this is going to be a long 13 minutes, because initially my plan was to record this video separately and then just do a voiceover, so that way I could speed up certain things. But since that is no longer the case, I will have to move fairly quickly, because normally I try to keep these like a 6-minute video, but that's no longer going to be the case. And so I am going to have to cut it fairly soon and quickly, because again, with my voice, I don't want to bore anyone. Oh, and I was supposed to use see, there was too many elements. I wanted to use one of the tools that I use for my ink paintings, and I will have to implement that another time. And so, but I do want so again, so not fully all watercolor, but close enough. So 95% watercolor. Just need to add some light. If that was the winter series, that would probably be perceived as snow, but it's just light. But so yeah, bam. So this is shorter. Next time I will just record the video and then do a voice over, because that way I can cut in and out and speed it up. So folks will have the option of watching the video and not having to sit for more extended time. So thanks so much for watching, and until next time, what's today's date? The 4th. I just said it earlier in the video. And so until next time, grace and peace.